God, I'm scared. I'm about to interview my boss when it comes to Christy Martin Promotions. Two boss ladies right here. All right, we are ready to start. Welcome to Los Announcements Podcast. I'm Jeremiah, and we got some special guests, including our host right here, our second host, Mr. Justin Simmons. So, ladies, introduce yourselves.
I'm Lisa Holewyne, Christy's wife.
Okay.
Oh my! I'm Christy Martin, Lisa's wife.
See,
We're both former WBC. Oh, I'm a WBC champion, world champion. Lisa Holewyne, Hall of Famers, all around boxing fans.
right.
Now we're into boxing promoters, which is a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
And,
it can be.
managing. Lisa's managing some fighters, so.
Yeah, we caught you on a good day when it came to that.
Oh my, a tough day today.
Yeah, it's been a tough day. I mean, it's when you're putting a podcast together, there's so many elements and things you got to put together. And we were supposed to start at 6. That didn't happen. That usually doesn't happen. I mean, it's kind of like boxing.
Never
When you put on a
time.
show, it doesn't usually start on time. Maybe like the ones on television, your shows start on time. A lot of the other shows that I do in other places I won't mention,
Yeah, you
Start.
still want a job, right?
I know,
I
right?
wanna
That's
say.
the whole damn. But they know that they know it. It's whatever. But yeah, it's thank y'all for showing up Thank you for allowing us to be
showing
here.
up. We showed up
It's like,
here.
wait, we
What
just
are you
came,
talking about,
we're in
bro?
your house.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're at the mansion. It's gorgeous in here.
It is very beautiful.
They had the drive-up butler for us, and they got a chauffeur.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Jesus.
so great. I wasn't expecting that.
And
The
Champ
whole
met you at
nine.
the front door.
Yeah.
I know. I was like,
where'd Champ go? I was waiting for
Yeah.
Champ to He was all Champ had all the red light fever earlier.
He's out doing.
there it
his
is.
own
Champ, come here. Look at that.
It's like, yeah, we're ready for you now.
If y'all don't
I'm
know
sorry.
Champ,
Finally got it all set up now, so you can come up.
oh my God. If y'all don't know Champ, I don't know if Champ has an Instagram page yet. Does Champ?
Not yet. I keep saying I'm going to get it set up, but one thing and another.
Oh, yeah, there
And,
you go.
He's shy.
We haven't got it.
It needs
set
to
up yet.
happen.
That's our ticket mover right here.
Absolutely, because he
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Champ.
he's been to more boxing matches than probably most people,
Yeah.
and he's only 11 months old. So
Look at that. Look at that face.
every week we're going somewhere. All right, pizza
See,
has been
Jeremiah,
delivered.
you know how you-
Heck yeah. Welcome back to Los Announcements Podcast.
you
Champ
work
just
your
made his presence.
Okay.
Oh.
Wasn't sure if you needed your phone. Some people
He's fine.
take it behind the scenes a little bit. This guy, and we're friends, so I can say this, lives on his phone. See, just did it right there,
Just
right?
had to check my phone. I mean,
See, he didn't have to. He just did.
And
I
you're-
never ever check my phone. I never pick it up for anything.
nothing. Nothing.
Like most of the time, it's like it probably is ringing. I'll get back to it, you know.
Right.
But I don't know how.
Text me.
How are you all about the phone usage? Are you one of those that's like always on it, or are you one of those that's like, today it's just not going to be that day?
It depends. It really is. Work.
There you go.
It depends. Work is is sometimes all consuming for both of us.
Well, I imagine fight
And,
week, it's like, oh, you're not going to let go of it.
Right.
Or my work, or I'm in the early stages of a frame, and the house is open. I'm on.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone all the time.
right.
And it's attached to me.
Yeah.
If it looks like it might possibly be rain tomorrow, I'm
Oh my
sweating
God.
today.
Oh, I know how you
This
feel.
type of thing. Christy, fight week, 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
It's perpetual.
Yeah. But that's life right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of boxing, and it's a lot of with your business house remodeling, correct? Yeah. What's the name of your company?
Remodel Austin.
In ATX, right? In Austin.
That's it.
Do y'all go anywhere else?
We go a little bit outside of Austin.
Yeah.
In all 4 directions, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise it just in a city like this now, you're spending too much time on the road and not enough time working. So
Yeah.
it's cost prohibitive.
That's a good point. But see, when you say cost prohibitive, I thought you were going to say, well, of course, if the price is right, we'll actually step out
Absolutely.
boundaries a little
I
bit, you
got a
know?
guy asking me to go to Lago Vista. I'm like,
Woo.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where all the money's at, too.
Ching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Lago Vista, though. It ain't bad. There's a good burger spot out that way, too.
But getting
But it's
past
out that
Cedar
way.
Park is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I'm
ain't
with
cheap
you.
in Austin, I tell you that.
Oh, and so.
I mean, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
I think so, but
I think so too.
so how is life with in between boxing and Lisa's work?
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, because like she said, she's on the phone pretty much 24/7. It seems
Yeah.
like, and you know, my phone's ringing too. Such as today, one thing that made it so crazy, I get a call that one of the fighters hasn't been seen in 10 days.
Oh wow!
And
yeah.
so, you know, what do you do? I mean,
The anxiety
this guy's
level.
gone, and so
Yeah.
now how do I? We're less than 10 days out.
Yeah.
How do I find a replacement in time to get keep the fight together?
This guy really
Especially for
missing-
it's a local kid that he's pulled out on.
Is he really missing, or is he just not making weight?
He's run away. All of the above.
I don't know, but I made it very clear to them that he will be on indefinite suspension, and he has had his last day in the boxing ring.
Yeah, like he knows who he's working for, right? I'm just saying, like there's like a whole documentary. If people aren't familiar with you, I mean, they can just look it up straight up. So I'm assuming he must have seen it at the very minimum.
He fought on my show before.
Yeah.
He knows me. He called me and asked me for a fight.
Yeah.
So actually, I offered him a fight that is a tough fight for the local kid to take.
Yeah.
It's a step up
Josh
fight.
Baker.
Josh Baker,
Yeah.
local kid in Myrtle Beach that actually stepped up to take this tough competitor. And
Yeah.
then, you know, the guy's now ghosted us all.
Oh,
So
my
we'll see what happens. I'm going to give him till Monday to reappear.
You're being nice. I figured that you would have already slotted in somebody already.
I
She's
do
got
have. I
irons in
do
the
have.
fire.
I have somebody
You have
to
somebody.
Okay.
to replace him,
Yeah.
but I will give him the opportunity to resurface
Yeah.
until Monday, and
Definitely,
then
like
we'll go from there.
definitely tough but fair.
Yeah. But have you heard the pre-fight conversation she has with the fighters?
Mm-mm.
And, there's a couple of classic lines that go in there. I'm not paying no hitter quitters, and there's a couple of other things that she says right after the weigh-ins, and I'm like,
It's truth.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, at this level, we're not talking about, you know, Don King shows, Bob
Yeah.
Arum, or the Golden Boy, or those guys. We're talking about guys that they fight every week or every month, you
Yeah.
know, and they're not really as serious about it.
Right.
Some of the opponents, and I just wanted to be very clear to them that I expect 100% effort, and no hitter quitters are getting paid. And if you just lay down those soft spots in the ring, you know, you will not get paid by me.
Has there ever been a time where you didn't pay a fighter because of that?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Actually, the last fight in Myrtle Beach, we had a kid that just laid down, and he has been on indefinite suspension and will stay there, and he did not get paid. He did not get paid his full purse.
We paid the
Yeah.
commission. It's up to the commission to pay them once it's resolved. But yeah, that was
That's a lesson learned. That's what it was for him
Yeah.
because
everybody else watching too.
Yeah, and it doesn't take long. The word gets around that Christy's kind of a bitch, and she will
Yeah.
not pay you. So
yeah.
I mean, all I ask is that you put forth an effort. I don't
Right.
expect you to come out there and make it a war. If you can't have that, if you don't have that ability, you don't have that ability. But go out there and give it your best.
Yeah.
Was it ever hard? Like, you guys are two top level fighters, some of the best of a generation, right? Is it ever hard for you all to step back and be like, this is as good as this fighter is going to get? Like, when you first started off in this business as the promotion side, and be like, oh man, like, because you know, it's just time. You're like, oh, I could do that and I can do that, because obviously you both performed it at this high level. But like you mentioned, you seem more of like the Hammond Ager, the club fighter, you know, somebody that's kind of like in between, maybe taking it really serious, maybe on the way down to taking it serious and just trying to keep active. Like, how was that when you first started out to try to make that adjustment from being like, oh, they just can't reach my level, and understanding that?
It's hard to adjust to not dealing with the championship level after being on the Don King cards. At least I fought on big cards. You just expect a level, you know, championship level quality out of everybody. You can't get it out of everybody. But they're giving their 100%, and as long as they're giving 100% that they have, and I feel like that we on this show in Myrtle Beach especially, we have 10 bouts, and probably a good 5 or 6 of those boxers have a chance to get to top 20 level.
Nice.
And a couple of them may even get to top 10 and get to fight for a title.
Which one?
Wow.
Talk about
Asking
it.
the hard-hitting questions
talk,
here, Lisa.
Talk about him, Lisa. Talk about him.
Anyone in particular?
Talk about him.
I'm just wondering which one you think.
What do you think, champ? You one of them?
Talk about him.
Which one you think?
Tell him about Vic, please.
Oh.
Tell him about the jalapeno.
Oh.
I think he's got power in both hands.
Oh, both hands?
I can't wait to see this
Okay.
kid.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's
tell him.
exciting.
Don't just yell. Just one word. Tell him.
I'm really excited. I am.
Yeah.
I'm excited the whole process on how I found him, how he is now. I love his trainer. I mean, it feels like a perfect package. It really does. And sometimes you get something, like you get a great trainer and you go, why won't this fighter improve the way he needs to?
There you go.
Or you get the fighter that's just amazing and you have like, where the hell did you find this guy?
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't know like a jab from a hook.
Yeah.
But not only did I get both, I mean, they're both good people too. So I'm really excited.
So since Lisa hasn't really told you his name is Victor Jalapeno Hernandez.
Love
He's
it.
going to be fighting for the NABA Continental America's featherweight
Beautiful.
title in Myrtle Beach, February 16th on pay-per-view,
Yeah.
on Triller pay-per-view.
That's right.
He's going to be fighting Jose Edgardo Garcia from right here in Texas.
I know that guy.
And so it is not an easy fight. for
I
Vic.
did his debut in Houston.
Tough guy.
Yeah,
And
that
he's
kid
like
can
13
fight.
and 5, but it's not. Even his 5 losses have all come to
Top
very
25
credible
fighters,
opponents, and he
Yeah.
has not been stopped by those guys.
Wow.
So this is that fight for Vic that not only is it for a title,
Yeah.
but this is going to tell us how far Vic's going to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're excited. We're excited about that
Yeah.
fight. We just signed a 112-pounder Tay Alpo, who was a
I know that kid. That is
awesome,
great.
awesome young
USA
man.
boxing right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Great amateur
kid.
boxing career. Good kid.
National
And,
champion,
we're
I think,
excited,
right?
I think a couple times.
Adorable.
So we're
Yeah.
excited to put him on the roster. We have Marco Bailey that's going to be fighting on the show. That's been on. Marco's fought about 6 top 10 kind of guys.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. He's really got himself together and is training over there in New Orleans or Kenner
Tejano.
with Vic and Axel.
Beautiful.
So he's given himself an opportunity to
Axel
really
Morello.
make something.
Kingfish Boxing.
Mm-hmm.
That's Vic's trainer that
Mhm.
I, again, like I didn't mention Vic, I didn't mention Axel either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Man, that is awesome. It's like, and it's so hard to put on shows. I've been in Myrtle Beach and worked on your shows, and it's crazy because as it gets closer to fight time, I'm like so zoned out, and then I look out there and I start seeing more people showing up. Usually, people just buy tickets on the day of the show, and that's so damn annoying.
Oh my God, and it hurts. It's so scary for little promoters like me because I have some good backing there in Myrtle Beach, but not the big backing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So we are living on ticket sales.
Yeah.
But
So buy your
fortunate enough
tickets.
for us, yeah, we come out, support these young local fighters, and
It's gonna be a heck of a show.
Look, you're gonna see some potential. Again, champions or DAZN, guys fighting on DAZN. Speaking
Right.
of guys fighting on DAZN, we just had Tony Aguilar fighting
The
on
guy with the Mexican tattoo
the-
on his chest,
absolutely,
right?
Yes.
I love it.
He just fought on DAZN last Friday
Mhm.
against Corey Marksman. It was fight of the night. Actually, they got a bonus pay because they
Beautiful.
were the fight of the night.
Jake Paul
And
I love that.
called in to tell him bonus these guys.
Yeah.
and to do a rematch. And so there will be.
Wow.
We, at least on our side, we've agreed to a rematch for April.
Mhm.
We're waiting for them to agree on their side.
Yeah.
But Tony Aguilar is one of those guys that he's making the sacrifices now. He's been working an 8-hour job, construction job every day,
Yeah.
training, driving 3 hours round trip to work, to the gym, and doing all that. He's finally decided to invest in himself and
Good.
give up the
Good.
job and let's do boxing.
Sometimes you just know. You have that epiphany and you're just like,
You get to
this is my time. This is
you get
the-
to
He's at that
stage
point.
in your
Yeah.
career where you have to make hard choices.
yeah.
And that's hard. That's a tough one because there's some people, if you've got a kid and you've got a mortgage, you've got some, 3 or 4 things going on,
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. And
Not without a little
those-
fear.
Those people,
Yeah.
aren't able to then proceed to the higher level. And luckily Tony doesn't have kids yet. And
Yeah.
and he's ready, and I 100% believe in him.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's just I've seen him fight. A kid has Man, like a true Mexican fighter.
Absolutely.
That's what I enjoy. He just it just goes right at you. No backing,
Big balls.
no
Got
running.
golden balls.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, the fighters that you're producing and you're grabbing are, you know, let's take it back because I don't know the birth of Christy Martin Promotions. When did this happen? When did you decide it's like, you know what, my career, it's ended. Now I want to do a promotion.
Yeah. So this is my 30th show,
Wow.
and
Jeez.
I think it
Look
was
at that.
like 16, 15. I think
Yeah.
in 2015
Mhm.
was the first show, late 2015 in Charlotte, North Carolina,
Mhm.
and it was just I just love boxing, so I wanted to find how can I fit in,
Mhm.
and I thought about I really wanted to maybe train people,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
as I was in the gym with different fighters, and I realized that they don't work quite as hard as I think they should work.
Yeah.
So I wasn't a good trainer.
Yeah.
I
Like-
wasn't gonna be a good trainer.
Can I ask real quick, like, if you could compare your work ethic to some of the fighters that you were trying to train, like, how far below do you think it was?
Yeah,
Just
like,
not even
Bunches
close.
of notches. Bunches
Wow.
of notches. I
Wait.
mean, they didn't get it. They did not get it. From shadow boxing hard to hitting the bag hard, running hard, everything you have to do it like
Mhm.
as hard as you can go.
Okay.
You can't
Yeah.
just half-ass this stuff. You have to go get it.
We had a guy that, Donnie, I won't say the last name,
Yeah.
that took a fight, trained, went to Vegas, all these things we call. He's like leaving camp, going to visit his family, coming back, and when he lost the fight
Mhm.
by tremendous knockout in the first round,
Wow.
Early.
he said it's because he had overtrained.
Oh, okay.
It's like, dude, you ain't even cracked the surface. It was just crazy.
The idea
It
of
was-
overtrained. Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
But, a lot of thing is that fighters that are not in a gym. I mean, here in Texas, we have so many fighters.
Oh yeah.
And so many good fighters, champion
Mhm.
fighters. So if you want to be a champion, you go find a gym and you train in
Yeah.
that same gym with the champion.
Yeah.
You just get in their space, and they work so hard. You see them working so hard. You think, oh my God, that's
Yeah.
what I have to do. If they work that hard, I have to work even harder.
Yeah.
And these guys, some of the guys at that time in the Carolinas, they're not around that, so they didn't know. They don't know about working hard. They see a fighter on TV and they think, oh, he trains for 5 weeks or 4 weeks and then has a fight. No, it doesn't work that way. You train all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
finish telling the story of how you became a promoter because I'm
Yeah, sorry.
on the edge of my seat.
Oh, how I became a promoter was just that.
How y'all became
No,
promoters?
I wanted to.
Well,
I
she
wanted
already
to.
was.
Yeah.
I wanted
Okay.
to stay in boxing in some way, and like I said, training was not going to be it,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't really have the money to manage anybody, and I damn sure didn't have the money to promote. I wasn't
Yeah.
thinking. So the first show I did lost like $30,000, and I didn't really have $30,000 to lose.
Oh, was it open bar?
No, but trust and believe for me it was afterwards.
It's like, I'm
I
going
was
after
kicking
all
him
that.
down as hard as I could.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was hurt. It hurt me bad. Well, you learn that
Yeah.
to not
Yeah.
make the same mistakes again.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's growing pains to this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like anything, and you jump in and probably I was a little arrogant and thought, oh well, people come, it's my show, we'll put my
Yeah.
name on it. But I
Mhm.
didn't. It was Pink Promotions.
Which
We
is
started as
terrible.
Pink
Wow.
Promotions because I didn't want to put my name on it. I didn't want it to be. I didn't want to have fighters. It was about me.
Yeah.
I just thought, Pink Promotions is cool though. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of me, but it's hiding me. And,
Yeah.
And then
You
these
can't-
people kept telling me, no, Christy, you have to put your name to
Yeah.
it. And that will help.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's helped, but we have put my name to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It has helped, and absolutely, she had to be told by everyone involved that
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna do this, it needs to be your name.
Yeah.
Were you just
I
concerned
agree.
about like casting a shadow over like these upcoming fighters?
I think sometimes people want to name everything
Yeah.
after themselves, so
Yeah.
it stays about them.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be about me. I want to go on somebody's ride. I want to help somebody take that ride. I want to help Vic take that ride to
Right.
the world title. I want to
Yeah.
help Tony take that ride. I want to help these guys be as excited as I was. From a
Mhm.
little bitty town in southern West Virginia to fight in Madison Square Garden, to fight on those big
That's
shows in Las
insane.
Vegas. are you kidding me? To let one of these guys have
Mhm.
that same experience and sit back and say, wow, we had a little part of it.
Yeah.
Right, Champ?
Perfect timing.
And that's what I want.
Yeah.
I
Vic
want to
loves
just be part of
Champ.
it. Vic definitely loves Champ. And Champ has a jalapeno somewhere that he plays with.
Oh, I'm glad Champ's gonna be there
Doesn't really
too.
look like a jalapeno though.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Well, if
It
it.
doesn't. It's supposed to be a jalapeno, but the artist's rendering is.
Wait,
really
what are you
bad.
talking about?
Champ's
toy.
Oh, okay. I got what you're
Jalapeno
saying.
that doesn't look like a jalapeno.
Yeah,
We can
more
all
like a
just-
pickle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have you enjoyed the journey of promoting? Because there's ups and downs, right?
Man, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not like being the fighter.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? So that was fun. That
Yeah.
was great.
Right.
Being the promoter is hard work.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, like everybody, I'm gonna pay everybody.
Oh, you're the most
Everybody.
popular person.
And then,
Oh, yeah.
but at the end of the night, I'm the one that most of the time there's nothing left for.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
there
So
anything to take home after
hurts.
that?
No,
That's
it
how
hurts.
that's how it always works, with promoters,
But
you know.
I needed to, but I'm telling the truth. 'Cause
Yeah.
most promoters, they all tell you they're not making any money, but
Oh.
they wouldn't keep doing it. But I do keep losing money, and I keep doing it because I keep thinking I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. We're
Yeah.
gonna, we're gonna get there.
Mhm.
And now we do have Tony Aguilar, Victor Hernandez, this new kid with Tay Alpo. I'm excited about.
Mhm.
Marco. We have a good little group of fighters that
Yeah.
hopefully can help the promotion and help us get to that next level.
Right.
The good thing too about Tay is he's talented.
Mhm.
He is. But B, at that weight, I
Mhm.
mean, 10 solid fights on
Yeah.
your belt, and you're fighting for a world title.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
Tony's
he-
he's fun to watch.
Tony?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's fun
Yeah.
to watch for
Vic's
sure.
fun to watch too.
Yeah, jalapeno, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen him.
His-
This will be my first
he's-
time.
He's dynamite in a bottle.
So if you get a chance, take a look at my Facebook page, and there's a little clip of him
Mhm.
after he knocks the kid down. He does a little shimmy,
Yeah.
and
nice.
I'm like, she's trying to tell him don't do it anymore, and I'm like, heck no, are you kidding me?
Right,
It's
right,
all about
right.
the shimmy, because at the end of the night, when you're a fighter, we're all just fighters.
Yeah.
We have to do something that makes us different than everybody else.
Right.
And so if it's that little shimmy, some people may say it's arrogant. Some people say this, that. Who cares? They're talking
Yeah.
about you.
That's
And
right.
as long as they're talking about you, it doesn't matter.
Good,
Yeah.
bad.
He did this-
Amen.
The first time he did something was he says there's this bird in Louisiana, egrets.
Okay.
A bird?
Bird.
Bird.
They have long legs, and so he did this kind of
Mhm.
pelican looking.
I've never heard of it.
And I'm like,
Come here, Tim.
Christy's like, did you see? I'm like, oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah, he
do
knocks
not
the kid
sign.
down, and then he does this little like tiptoe away from him. It was awesome. I mean, that's you just have to do something
Right,
like
right.
that.
Yeah,
I
into
mean,
the sport too at the same time.
it's
People love to
entertainment.
be entertained by
Right.
the athlete. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, as much as people say they hate it, they're paying a ticket to see that person get knocked out regardless.
Yeah.
Now at that point, because
Yeah.
they're like, oh, they're so arrogant. I
Who
want to see him
cares?
get knocked out.
Buying a ticket,
Yeah, that's at the end of the day.
and that's absolutely.
That's what I always loved about Emmanuel Augustus and his drunken.
Oh, I loved him.
Yeah, his drunken master style.
Yeah.
I was all like, okay, some people hate it, but to me, it's the most entertaining, most like sure-handed type of style that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd like to see anybody else do it, but he did it very well. He was awesome.
Yep.
Of course, he's going to fight on ESPN. I was tuning in.
Oh, I was always watching his
Yeah.
fights growing
Yeah.
up because I knew it was going to be a good time,
Yeah.
win or lose for
Yeah.
him. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And now that
I
he
would
lives
not
out,
want to fight him. Are you kidding me? How do you train for that?
No.
Yeah, it's like where are you going to find a sparring
Right.
partner that can emulate that?
Right.
Your hateful child is biting me.
Bring him over here.
I was like, that's gonna stop him. He'll just bite this side.
You ever want to bite your employees sometimes? You have a great staff, by the way, and your wife as well. How does that all work? I mean, what role do you play?
What's the same role I play at home? She's the boss all the time.
Oh my God. No.
I'm staying away from that
No.
one.
Have they hit you up about the reality TV show yet?
No.
'Cause
We're
I
we're
might
boring
watch
as
that.
hell. Trust and believe. We're boring.
Netflix right here.
No,
Yeah.
we are boring.
Yeah.
I would love to see
I
y'all.
don't
as
know.
a-
You were already telling me, she was always talking about your adventures of going to the mailbox and people like trying to figure out if that's really you or not.
That's one day a week. I go to the mailbox 2 days. I'm not even here
You
Go to the
ask her for
mailbox.
the sign in Sports Illustrated. No, you ask her. Come
Oh,
on,
I
come on,
know.
Look,
No.
you're closer to where she is now.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
they're on something. You know, they're
I mean,
on like walkie-talkies. Or
They're
something.
on that neighborhood app.
All the older
Neighborhood
I
watch.
hate that neighborhood app thing.
gentlemen
Oh my
in the
God.
neighborhood are like, no, you ask her. And then there's like he'll just come out. One guy, a couple houses down, he'll just come out and he'll just like stand there in the driveway. So I heard you used to box.
I heard you used to buy.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my.
It's like, used to be okay.
Yeah.
Just a little.
No, that was my wife. You had me confused.
Oh.
She was the boxer.
Do they know that y'all fought each other though?
I think everyone in the free world knows that now because whoever doesn't is a Facebook friend of Christy's because
Yeah.
she has so many that she can't let people on
Oh
anymore.
my God.
Yeah, I didn't remember.
The anniversary photo's great though.
Exactly,
Yeah, right.
that's what I'm saying.
Smacking me right in the nose.
Yeah,
right in
that's
the mouth.
so one clean punch I landed in the fight, and it was like it was right there. You know,
Yeah.
it was like it was 3 inches too short.
Yeah, but it was right to see us because I understand distance. I mean,
Oh, you got
it's not
caught
about
on
she
that
wanted
one.
to take the she wants to take the credit. She didn't straighten it out.
You got caught on that one.
I love this. This is why y'all need your own.
Yeah, for real. I was like,
Yeah,
I keep
that'd
on
be
thinking
great.
it's like, Rocky and Apollo. It's all like, do you guys ever get in and spar a few rounds
Oh,
just to
so
make sure?
let me tell you a
Oh,
story.
this is such a terrible
so
story.
after I moved to Texas, we had a little gym like
Mm-hmm.
right behind Lisa's office.
Yeah.
And it was
COVID.
just a private little place, and so we were going to spar with each other.
Oh my.
We had our hands wrapped, but we were just kind of sparring.
Shadowboxing.
We were shadow boxing.
Oh
and
my
then it turned
gosh.
into we were going to kind of shadow box at each
We
other.
were playing.
Yeah.
She hit me right on the chin. Boom.
We were
Bruise. Had a
playing.
big bruise.
Oh,
right on
Like
my
I saw
chin.
welt.
Yeah. No,
We-
a purple
we were
bruise.
playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We were playing.
So,
She she walked into it.
Is she walking?
Oh my God.
wow.
That is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We used to spar each other though.
Just
Yeah,
for the
well,
fun of
that-
it.
No.
No.
That
Oh.
was way back when.
Oh, okay,
it was-
back- yeah, when you were-
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does it feel now, just being out of the inside the ring as an athlete and just being a civilian, so to speak?
Mm-hmm.
Is it and the fame? You know what I mean? Both of y'all, as a power couple. I see y'all as a power couple, by the way. I'm just gonna put
That's
that
very
out
sweet.
there. The fame, traveling, all that. Does that ever give y'all an anxiety too? Does that get too much, or sometimes you're like, I'm enjoying this life. I enjoy this part of being a celebrity, a sports celebrity.
I think Christy, that's a sports celebrity. What's fun to me
Mhm.
is, I work like a regular job all
Mhm.
week,
Mm-hmm.
and on weekends I get to go do this the thing that I love, that
Yeah.
I loved, and that I did as my sport. I get
Right.
to see it. I get to be around it a lot. I get to see all kinds of great fighters, and
Mm-hmm.
so to me that's the fun part of being, Christy's
Yeah.
wife. So
It's beautiful.
yeah.
Aw,
I know.
that
I'm
just
like-
made my heart
I was
warm.
like, I don't know how you're supposed to
Oh.
answer
It's like
that.
Valentine's Day's in
Yeah,
about
I
4
know.
days.
I
You better
was
start
like
writing that
perfectly
down.
said.
Right,
I was
right,
like, oh.
Yeah.
And
So
then-
I think oh my goodness, I think when I was 25 maybe, I thought,
Mhm.
oh wow, traveling all the time will be so much fun.
Yeah.
It's it's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it is fun. I mean, I'm happy that I'm blessed to be able to go, and that's because Lisa makes it possible. But I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
We travel all the time, and
People don't know that.
Just last
They
week,
don't.
last week we had Tony fought on Friday in
Mhm.
Orlando. Then Sunday left Orlando and went to Nashville.
Yeah.
And I work with the promoter up there in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And Tuesday we had fights in Nashville. So
Yeah.
then I actually spoke Wednesday at a Nashville domestic violence center, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then came home. Then I'll leave Monday
Okay.
and go to Myrtle Beach. Again, it all seems fun, and but it's tiring.
Yeah, you got.
We're executive platinum though.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Building
get a lot
those
of
miles.
upgrades. We get a lot of upgrades.
That's always good, but
Yeah.
still, always
it's
having to
awesome.
travel to the airport, and catching a red eye somewhere, maybe,
it's
and then having just to live out your suitcase for a few days, maybe weeks.
And Lisa likes to be on like the 5 a.m. flights. And I'm like, oh my god.
That's like me. I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm ready to go.
Gone. It's done.
Yeah.
I'm
But
out
with
here.
that, you're up
Pop
at 3 o'clock
stand.
in the morning. If it's after a fight, you might want to go out and like celebrate a little bit, have a little fun,
Yeah.
and enjoy the night.
We're
and-
staying a whole extra day in Myrtle Beach. I
yeah,
don't
but
what
you know
she's
what?
talking
We
about.
have to because we have 20 fighters, and we have
That's
so
a lot
many.
of fighters.
Yeah.
So Saturday, where we have airport trips, we're gonna have to take the fighters. You know,
Yeah.
we do it all because
Yeah.
you know we're kind of a one-stop shop. We do the hotel, we do the travel, we do
Yeah.
the booking the fights.
And you got a great team.
We do.
Some really cool people. Dan and Jerry Late are great help. Pat
Yeah.
Orr comes and she
Photographer,
takes
amazing.
pictures and she does whatever.
Mhm.
She jumps in wherever we might need her. And let me tell you, the number one person that's helped so much with Myrtle Beach is Shannon Griffiths and her husband.
Oh, yeah. Beast Boxing,
I mean, Beast
right?
Boxing. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Number one, they always open the door to all the fighters that come in, but she's boots on the ground. We
Mhm.
have we have been jumped through so many hoops
Yeah.
to get everything to go right for this show coming up Friday.
Mhm.
She's logged the hours.
We're
Yeah.
going. We're trust and believe. I told Lisa a couple days ago I was going to jump on the wagon, but no. When I see Shannon, we're going to hit
Yeah.
some margaritas. Fiesta Mexicana. We're
Fiesta
coming. We're
Mexicana.
coming home. We're coming hard.
A little bit of karaoke, too. Hey, you know what? We're going to do something real quick. You know, this is a podcast. We always have little changes. I'm going to sit over there. You're going to sit right here. Is that
Cool.
okay?
Yep.
Or, yeah, we'll do that. Because nobody wants to see me. We're here to see y'all. I might,
Champ is. Oh, here.
my feet might be dangling
You're
just a
good.
bit.
Baby.
What?
Look at that.
Champ's dog bones right here.
Yeah, I just gave it to him.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I gave it to him.
There we go.
Oh,
See,
well.
I like that.
Hey, champ. Hey, buddy.
See? Feel a little better.
Oh, we're playing game. I didn't realize we were
Yeah.
playing musical
See?
chairs.
So that all happens. This is podcast without even doing a script. What is it called? Ready preparedness and all that. I went to broadcasting school and I don't use any of those tactics.
Unscripted.
Very unscripted.
Yeah.
That's why you're a
Nah,
play-by-play guy.
I didn't go to broadcasting.
Oh, real
school.
quick, if you guys, I know. If you guys ever need a play-by-play guy to do every sport you can think of, even the odd ones like rugby and putt golf, this is the guy right here.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, we needed to know that too because
I
if
couldn't tell you.
If we had known about it, 2 weeks ago, you'd be in Myrtle Beach.
Oh,
3
well,
days ago,
Yeah, 3
actually.
days
Oh.
ago.
maybe next time.
Yeah.
This guy knows boxing and sports, and it's wild. That's why I brought it. I mean, this was his idea, y'all. Real quick.
Oh, but it takes two to tango. you
That's
know?
true. That is true. Speaking of taking two to tango over here, let's go back to how y'all met. Like, what was the
How
day?
we-
Well, in the ring,
Right.
obviously, and what
It was November 17th, maybe 15th, 17th, around there. 2001.
2001.
Yeah.
That's when it-
Mandalay Bay, Las
Yeah.
Vegas. 10 rounds.
DK Promotions, right?
DKP, absolutely. Yeah. So the first time I met Lisa was on the scales or at the scales. And
She wasn't that nice.
I'm always very nice.
I can't imagine if I met y'all back in the day. Were y'all that? I mean, just this calm?
Oh, I was surprised. I was calm.
Yeah.
And so I got on the scale.
Mm.
It wasn't a title fight, so I knew I got on like +1.
Mhm.
I only had like 8 days to get ready. So
Yeah.
I'm a little bigger than Christy.
Mm-hmm.
I took the +1, and Christy had elbowed the commissioner out of the way to stand in front of the scale. And so I smiled a little bit, and I said, good luck, Martin. And I went to pick up my clothes, and she said, good luck getting knocked the fuck out.
Oh my God!
The only time I've been mouthy to an opponent, I turned around and I said, well, I always want to meet the bitch that could.
Oh.
Those were our first words spoken.
man.
I've never known about
That's
that.
awesome, though. God. That would set
Yeah.
the tone
That's-
for any fight. Jeez.
Words of romance right there.
Yeah, for real.
My promoter went to talk to her in the dressing room after the fight, and I was like, yeah, flirting with the enemy. I'm not okay with that.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it happens though. It really does happen.
I know.
And from then on, when the fight happened, after the fight, tell us about that.
So I heard after the fact that she was very nice to me, like in the meetings and stuff with the announcers and stuff like that. But so she was complimentary of who I was and what I had done in boxing. But to me, she was good luck getting knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, but after the fight, you can see it on the fight.
Yeah.
They do the decision, and she's walking by me. I'm walking one way, and I said, they didn't give you credit, but I did.
Yeah.
So, and I wasn't nice to any opponents, but I was nice to her.
That's
the one soft spot.
It was
Yeah.
it was my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Didn't miss leg day during that training camp, did you?
Oh, I can just see Chrissy just like, whoa. Is that how it all happened? No.
No, actually, I don't think it. Neither one of us. Not. It was.
It was all business that week.
It was
Oh,
Fight
definitely-
week for sure.
You know, falling in love. I tell people all the time is about time, space, and place, and it was not the right time, space, or place
Nope.
for that.
Nope.
And probably I would say, you know, I went to Florida and sparred with her 3 different times too. And the first time really was just getting to know her and realizing that she wasn't the persona of Christy.
Yeah.
That she was actually, your child is biting me.
I'm pretty
See?
calm. I'm calm. I'm quiet.
Yeah.
And
For the
that's,
most
I
part,
think
yeah.
people don't.
She's
they
actually
don't
very pleasant.
expect that I would be
nice.
quiet.
Yeah.
And the West
Shy.
Virginia comes out, and which is very similar to our culture here in Texas. And so to me, it was simpatico.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Simpatico. I love it. A little Spanish here too.
So
Exactly.
we actually I started to promote shows in so in 2017. Lisa called me, and I had started in 2017. Lisa called and said, I'm going to come, you know, she's been calling me. I'm going to come check out one of your shows. And, yeah, come on.
There it is.
Yep. And there it was. She never left.
Who asked who first out on a date?
Oh,
It was a little more complicated than
Oh,
that.
God.
There was really,
Wasn't like the movies where it just like all fell into place.
well, yeah, yes, it did.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay.
See,
That
this
was-
is why it needs
that
to
was
be a
the
movie, too.
complicated part.
Yeah.
champ.
You know, her parents came, and I know, right? She's like, Christine, you're in charge of Cujo. So, I went with her niece to go get sandwiches because her mom and dad were there, and I've known them for years.
Yeah.
Right? We were friends. We went to fights together.
She came to watch me fight in Houston.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Went to
and
Mexico.
To Mexico, yeah.
And so I go, and it's, oh, hey, Lisa. And I come back, and it's like ice. I'm like, what the hell happened here while I was gone? She's like, I told my mom you're my girlfriend.
But she was.
Like,
She really wasn't.
what?
She wasn't my girlfriend. I
Oh,
really.
She was really just, you know,
I was. Yeah.
bugging her mom, like, you know, poking the bear.
Yeah.
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 I love that. I love that. It's just, and then from there,
Like, whoop.
Yeah.
now living under one roof right here,
Yeah.
beautiful Austin, Texas, you know, and, I mean, we
I
got,
haven't-
what's that?
I haven't, since the day we got together, I have not had one day's regret.
Good.
Best
That's
decision
beautiful.
I've ever made in my life.
Aw.
Yeah.
Just in time for
I-
Valentine's Day, y'all.
I know, really. I wasn't expecting the Valentine's Day over close.
6 years.
6 years.
Wow.
And plenty more to go.
Yeah.
Hopefully we
Yeah.
get around.
6 and a.
All our good ones, you know, all of our, a lot of our boxing legends, you know, we're losing a lot
I
of
know.
our
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
Or the ones we looked
know, the ones
to
we looked
and
up to,
Which,
you know,
which meant that they
Yeah.
were a
Yeah,
generation
we
ahead of
just-
us. Yeah.
you know, Colonel Bob Sheridan, Bob Duffy, who
Yeah.
feared New York. Everybody was a figure for boxing forever in New York. This guy is really
Cujo.
crazy
He's
today.
on fire tonight.
He is on, he's, oh my God.
Talk to him.
I heard it nice and clear over Yep. Hey, Champ has a lot to say.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, yeah. Boxing has we've lost a lot of folks, and we're also gaining a lot of folks too. A lot of talent, you know, especially in the women's division. What do you think about the state of boxing with females boxing nowadays? You know, it's changed a lot.
Yeah, you guys pretty much laid down the groundwork, but now we're seeing. We just saw a fight where they actually went 3-minute rounds, and
That was cool.
And there's going to be championship rounds. You know, not stopping at 10, going to 12.
Right.
So I was like, you know, these seem like big advancements, but it wouldn't have happened if you guys didn't lay the groundwork. But how do
Yeah.
you feel about the state of women's boxing as it is right now?
Well, first, just so everybody knows, when I started boxing way back in 1989, were you born yet?
Yes.
Okay. In 1989, I fought 3-minute rounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like that's something, you know, new that just happened. So,
Yeah.
but I think if you want to fight 3-minute rounds, you should have the opportunity to fight
Yeah.
3-minute rounds. 12 rounds, I think is a great thing.
Mhm.
I like the 2-minute rounds, and I think the fans like the 2-minute rounds because there's so much action.
Yeah.
And with the women fighters, and maybe it's because we don't sit back and plan everything. I don't know. It's just me because I like to fight.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of action. I throw a lot of punches. I like the 2 minutes. I think it's a lot of action. The fans are gonna appreciate it. But if you want 2 minutes, if you want 3 minutes, you should have the opportunity to do 3 minutes. Amanda Serrano is a great ambassador for women's boxing.
Right.
She's
Taylor.
doing all the right things.
Yeah.
Katie Taylor. There's a lot of females are coming up now that we of course didn't see. In my time, I couldn't even box amateur if I would have wanted to.
Yeah, that's right.
We weren't allowed to.
Yep.
Took me 4 years to get 3 fights.
Wow. Wow, that just
And they were all against the same woman. From Buda.
from Buda
Buddha.
or Buddha. Wow, man, that just opens your eyes to see how much women's boxing's changed. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, with even including in USA Boxing, you know, a lot of them come from there, you know. And there wasn't any USA Boxing in your time, right? There was.
Nope.
Lisa had the opportunity to do
I had a
amateur
USA
boxing.
book.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah.
When, because that's
The-
what Golden Gloves was.
Yeah.
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 When I signed with Don King in 1992,
Mm-hmm.
I already had about 20 pro fights, but they had that was about the same time 92, 93 was about when they started allowing women to box in
Mm-hmm.
amateurs, USA Boxing. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too
Crazy.
familiar with the history and all with that. It's just it blows my mind, you
You're
know.
familiar with the current stuff going on in USA Boxing, though, right?
I am. It's a little eye opening. It's
I think
it's a
it's gonna
touchy
hurt.
subject, but everybody has their opinion. You know, transgender or how would you phrase that?
I don't have any problem with transgender people, but it's damaging to women's sports.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all the gains that women have made, not just in boxing and everything. I mean, we want to say that up until the age of 18, you have to compete in your birth gender, and the minute you turn 18, now you can compete against someone who was born male.
Yeah.
I mean, Martina Navratilova and I agree on that point exactly.
Yeah.
It's like it's every gain we've made from Title IX all the way up. Forget about it. It's gone. It's out the
Yeah.
window.
Ooh, yeah. That one is it's a tough one to talk about it, but it's something that needs to be discussed. You know.
I almost think it should be a separate category.
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to ask. Like some sort of like X division, if you will, like a third division. Would that be like
That's going to
something-
be to me that's the only thing that you can do.
Yeah.
It's just not
because it's not just a one-way transition; it's a two-way transition essentially. If you have somebody from not necessarily going from man to woman, but maybe one that's going from woman to man, you know.
Well, the one transgendering from woman to man puts himself at a disadvantage, and I don't think you'll find that person then competing in any sport because they're at a disadvantage in both. But someone who transgenders from a man to a woman, you know, bone density, muscle density, all strength, speed. I mean, why don't women compete against men in any sport? Because they would win none. You know, it's not how God built us.
No, it's just natural characteristics.
And so now we want to say the minute you turn 18, you can transgender and compete in women's sports. Well,
Yeah.
that's nuts. I don't know who thought that was a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very very touchy subject for a lot of people too. It's just
I stand with anyone who wants to, anyone 18
hmm
that wants to transgender. No problem.
Right.
It's their life.
hmm
You know, I wish them well. It's just everything you do in life has a
Consequence.
consequence.
Yeah.
And the consequence to that would be they forfeit the right to compete
Yeah.
as a woman based on their biology, I guess.
Kind of like the swimmer Leah Thompson.
Are you
Fucking nuts.
kidding me?
Oh, or Leah Thomas. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's no
these
way.
are the things, like Lisa said. You make a decision in life, then there are consequences to every decision you make.
Mhm.
This is a huge decision,
Yeah.
and to me, sports and whether you're going to be able to participate in sports
Mhm.
should be like a negative 10 on the
Mhm.
decision making to transgender. If this is what you want to do with your life, you're not doing it because you want to compete in sports. I would
Mhm.
hope.
Yeah.
So why, if that's being taken away from you, would that be a big deal? That's just one of the things you have to give up.
Yeah.
I already know some fathers that have
Mhm.
daughters boxing that have stated they will never allow their daughter to box a transgender person,
Mhm.
and I don't blame them at all. But what is this going to do? Is this going to cause us to lose up and coming female boxers because
Yes, it
they
is.
don't want to compete against somebody that was a man at one
Mhm.
point? And then we're just hurting women's boxing
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think this hurts women's sports period across the board.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And we all know that either one of us, I'm sure there's some man out there, there's some
Mhm.
dude that we could beat,
Yeah.
but then you go and you compete against a tougher guy,
Yeah.
and at some point you get hurt.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. That's one of the reasons I ended up signing with Don King way back in the day.
Mhm.
I was on a show with Jackie Callan, actually, and I was about to sign with Jackie, and a matchmaker that was working with her at the time came up to me and said, "Christy, we can fill this place. If we'll put you in with a man." And I'm like, no, not interested. I don't want to do
Wow.
that. And 2 weeks later, I got the call to come see Don King.
Look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, because people forget it's just like, oh, average people is one thing, but when you're talking about like top tier athlete,
Yeah.
Oh.
and then like all the work that goes into being one, and then you're
Right.
talking about like minute differences making a big difference at the end. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
understandable. Like you have to have this discussion.
Yeah, look at the difference between a B and a B plus male fighter,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
and one walks away with a win.
Yeah.
easily. It's not even a hard one to me.
Look,
Yeah.
we've seen 2 A's and somebody get hurt.
You end up feeling like if I speak my truth
Mhm.
about how I feel about being a woman in sports,
Mhm.
then I mean, especially in a situation like I'm a gay woman,
Yeah.
I don't hate anyone who's transgendering.
Yeah.
I think it's I can't
Be you.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. But I'm not going to like say, "Hey, yeah, go ahead and compete
Yeah.
as a woman" when I don't feel that in my heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I have had a few of my friends or people that I know. I had a women's football team in Austin,
Mhm.
and one of my athletes was clearly transgendering.
Mhm.
And this is before USA Boxing had, not USA Boxing, the IOC had all the rules, and that's really what everything goes by. It trickles
Yeah.
down from the IOC. And all I knew was what I felt in my heart. And I said, "Hey, have you started taking testosterone?" And grudgingly, I was told yes. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm going to have to ask you to become a coach or to step out. I'm not going to put this team in jeopardy of having, been disqualified. I'm not going to put other people in jeopardy.
Mhm.
And that really just had to come down to what I felt was true.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still like the person, still
Mhm.
know the person, but it doesn't change what I feel is true.
Yeah. Ooh, man, that's a throat gulper because there's a lot of truth behind that. You know what I mean? Just not a lot of people. They always see one side of the coin.
Right.
Look at the other side. Be open minded.
Yeah.
I'm all for equality. I'm all for, as they say, love is love, right? But when it comes to sports, that's a whole, a whole different thing.
Absolutely.
It's a whole different thing, and I'm, it's for the safety of others too. That's what I see. Got to take care of your peoples.
For sure.
And, and the hardest thing in boxing, in any sport that's not, a clear, decisive winner, is we get mad when the judging line is blurred.
Yeah. Right.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's
true. Justin, have any thoughts on that?
No, not really, man. I think everything's already been said. It's already been covered.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not really in a position to make a comment. I mean, I've never really competed in the sport at either gender, right? So it's just all like, so who am I to say? I mean, I would really like, somebody on the other side to get a take, maybe, at some point that we can find out and just kind of understand where they're coming from as well. Because, I mean, I just haven't heard anybody really.
No, you're right.
Mention it. It's obviously been put into practice now, but I haven't had any transgender fighters come out and tell me like what this means to them or how it makes them feel. And so it's kind of hard for me to kind of like, I understand the reasoning, but I also want to see what they have to say and what it means to them, because we're all just looking to be equal. Right. And I know that at the same token, it's just like, there are genetic differences, and it's just like, how do we keep the equality, and how do we, or like, do we just expand, like as we talk to the extra division? But then at the same token, we were talking about, well, primarily men transitioning to women. You were talking about that guy, that guy,
Manuel.
right? So the woman that transitioned to a man, and it's just like, well, technically, did they fight in the same division, or do we have a separate division from the separate trans? Yeah, like if you were originally born female and you transitioned to male, is that just a separate division, or are they clumped into one division? And it's like I'm interested to see what the answers are going to be going forward, because it's just like, as a society, we're always looking for answers going forward. So I that's what I'm interested in. But it's like, it's awesome to get your all's take, because it's like, what it takes to compete at the top level.
Oh, yeah.
And you understand how big of a difference minute differences make at that level. So just to have a natural scientific advantage, what that means in the long run to like a top tier competitor.
Right.
And that's what makes your viewpoint so how do I say it? What makes it so important, because it's like, I don't know what it's like to compete at that type of level. It's like just me versus Jeremiah is nothing, because it's just like,
nobody wants to see that. Jesus Christ.
But it's
I do. How about
I'll be on the floor.
I was going to say, book it on the card. I'll drop my I guess I got to drop 20 pounds. I think I can do it.
I'll do it in my tux.
Yeah, there you go.
On pay-per-view.
You're going to bring it back like old pro wrestling. We're going to have the tuxedo match. Whoever gets stripped out first loses.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that used to be a thing. Howard Finkel competed in the tuxedo match once. That's right.
Yeah, I don't do wrestling, do you? Or wrestling.
I used to love Houston wrestling when I was a kid.
What?
Jimmy Snuka, the Flying Fijian.
She was at the Coliseum, that's why. That's where it was at.
Okay, I didn't know you were into that back in the day. That's cool.
Loved it. Are you kidding me?
Big Steamboat.
Someone who could climb up on the top ropes and fly off, and I would have sworn it was real though.
I think we all did at one point.
Oh yeah, I think everybody at one point thinks it was real.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it kind of is. It's predetermined, but some of those things hurt.
They're absolutely. When these guys are athletes, whether they're I don't know, they're still athletes.
That's the only thing I can attest to from experience, like firsthand. It's all like, I've taken my bumps, I've been thrown over those ropes. Yeah, some of that stuff hurts, but I know who's gonna win and we know who's gonna lose. But to get there, some of it hurts. That's for sure.
Yeah, you've been in the ring before.
Yeah, man. It's like, it's no fun taking a suplex off the top rope. It's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, the other person has like your best interest in him more than likely, and they're going to protect you. But I mean, it still hurts.
You do know what being an athlete is, then, because being athletic.
But talking about top tier though, it was like, I'm not top tier athlete. Like, I'm a weekend warrior maybe. Like, I'm good at what I do, but I'm not top tier. I mean, look at the belt. Look at like, nobody's gonna make me anything like this, because I'm not like a real
athlete. Deidre Gogarty made Christy that.
Yeah,
y'all both fought her, right?
I never fought Deidre.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Look at that.
You see this one up here in the Sports Illustrated cover? Yeah, like, I'm not that good. I'll never. I mean, nobody ever is now, because Sports Illustrated. Does that make you kind of sad?
You know what? That's what I had to explain to somebody yesterday or last.
What is
days.
that?
I was like, Oh, when I was speaking at the domestic violence,
Yeah.
I was like, I was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and you that are old enough to know, like that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I remember
man.
getting those in
Talking
high
to
school.
young people, they don't have any
The
idea.
story of when it first came out.
Oh, tell us.
Oh, yeah, please.
I get a box, like 10 or something from Sports Illustrated, but I didn't want those. I wanted to go to the store and buy one. So there was a little convenience store like a half mile from my
Okay.
house. I go to the store, I buy the magazine, I put it on the counter, and like I just stand there. Like I want the guy to notice that that's me on the cover.
Yeah.
He doesn't. It's some punk kid.
Doesn't even
he
know.
just takes my money. I'm like, dude,
Bless his
that's
heart.
me.
Jesus.
Doesn't like person look
Yeah.
familiar? Try to point it out. Like,
yeah.
Like,
gosh.
hey.
Yeah.
there's a
Hello.
Dang.
Yeah.
Recognize anybody?
Yeah. So it kind of hurt my feelings.
It would have hurt mine too. I tell you that. Yeah, that's for sure. Jesus Christ, I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? See, y'all don't even know either.
We were
Jimmy
talking
Snook
about
and the
yeah.
Flash.
Oh yes, yeah.
Because
way
we,
off.
we were
top.
just talking about athletes in general.
I used to practice that move from my couch
No.
to my brother, and sometimes there was a miss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would imagine sometimes.
Sometimes he moved the other way.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, well, sometimes the knee landed on the head by
Oh,
mistake.
that too.
That does
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
I remember those days. Fighting your siblings. Do you have any siblings?
I had a younger brother.
Yeah.
Passed a couple years
Oh,
ago, but
sorry to hear that.
we he absolutely loved
Oh.
wrestling, loved it, and so I have my own little story. I practiced the figure 4
Yeah.
on him.
Oh,
in some
that's
way,
awesome.
I actually I guess it really could get locked in.
Right.
So I got it locked in on him once, and I think about hurt us both.
Choked him out.
And then I drug him around on the carpet, not realizing I was giving him carpet burn.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
it
Because
was
as soon as
kinda-
you said that, I was like, oh.
Yeah, yeah. But he loved that. Jimmy Snuka, Rick Steamboat,
Yeah.
Jay. Is it Jay Youngblood? Is
Yeah,
it
that's
those
how I know.
guys?
That's how I know that
All
you're
those
old school.
guys,
Because you was like
yeah.
Jay Youngblood, Rick Steamboat. You didn't even call him
Yeah.
Ricky Steamboat. You called him
Yeah.
Rick Steamboat.
Rick Steamboat.
Yeah,
all those guys.
That's Mid-Atlantic territory back in the day.
I don't remember. I just remember those guys.
That's wild.
Andre the Giant, I think, was on
Andre
there
the
too.
Giant.
Oh, no doubt. I'm
Yeah.
sure that you have seen him go through your territory at least
Yeah.
once.
Yeah. Do you know that he was a double Y chromosome?
What?
Who's this?
The Andre the Giant.
No.
So
Oh
there's-
wow.
They did genetic tests on some of the basketball players of all things, and some of the wrestlers, and so it's called super male, and so a woman is an X and a man is a Y, and that extra leg that's missing, that's why you have the sex-linked recessive traits that
Mhm.
mostly men have, because they take it from the extra. Anyway,
Yeah.
so the Y, there's an extra Y chromosome in some extra very large men.
Didn't even know that was a thing.
This is real.
So there you go. There's your biology.
So did I only get like half one? Did I only get
Lesson.
like half of one of those chromosomes then or something?
No, you
like
got
why
all of it.
I
You
get
got
so
all of
short?
it.
Where's
You
the
know,
high part?
Yeah, you're perfectly sized.
How about me? How about me?
You are too, and
Fi-
and extra handsome.
Thank you. 5'2", and that's about it. 5'2".
Yeah, but you
weird.
talk like you're 6'1".
Well, not right now. See, a lot of people don't know my real voice when I talk to them. They're like, "Why don't you sound like that?"
right.
They're like, "How the hell did you do that?" It's a tequila worm that hangs out in there and does all the talking for me.
Oh, that's
No,
Does it hurt?
being short?
No.
funny. Tequila worm.
Oh.
I already know how that kind of feels. And it's
No,
like,
no.
and sometimes I feel like you have an advantage because it's like you're noticeably short, whereas I'm just like blend in short, you know? So it's like, at least, no offense.
You're average height though.
Yeah, but like you stand out, you know? Like I don't stand out because I'm short. I'm just like, the woman at the club is just like, nah. You know?
You ever been told you'd be a good Oompa Loompa? Is the worst.
I've been told I
I've
would
been
be, I've been told.
Halloween time, they told me that.
Yeah, I've also
Oh,
been.
Oompa
Oompa
loompa
doopity
doopity
doo.
doo. If you were wise, you would listen to me. That is from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was told that I make a good hobbit. Yeah, so I feel your pain, bro. I mean, just because I look like Elijah Wood doesn't necessarily mean I want to
think you'd
be.
make a good hobbit, do you?
No, he looks like one of those Roman soldiers or the Caesar. Is that what they call it? Caesar?
I mean, if they put on 20 pounds, yeah.
Oh God, I'm sure they ate a lot back then too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's nowhere near the processed foods that I'm eating on a daily basis. You
Yeah.
know, this is the body of a has-been champion.
Yeah.
Not even a has-been champion, just a has-been.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't
that
say
never
that.
was.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
No,
Yeah, you gotta
like,
think about that.
I do play-by-play for these colleges, and like one of the kids that I'm working with, like he pushed like, "Hey man, you've won like a D1 title." And I was like, "Well, that's true. I played rugby at a D1 college, but I mean, it's just a club team. But we did win a title though, so I was like, I'll claim that. But
Yeah.
it doesn't make me feel good, you know? It's just
Doesn't?
all, it's just
Hey,
all like,
A win. I don't care if it's like backgammon.
yeah.
Is
Back in.
I guess I don't got that competitive fire. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh,
No.
you know, it's like it's D1, but it's like a cheapened feeling D1.
You know what second place is?
No.
First
The
loser.
first loser. Oh, cheers.
Oh, no wonder you guys make such a great couple. Oh my gosh.
I love that.
But is the competitive fire like still there even today? Like if you guys are competing at something, you guys have to beat each other. Like even if it's a game like ping pong or air hockey or bowling or something like that.
Yeah,
She wins at everything.
that is not true.
She does absolutely win at
board
everything.
board games too.
I beat her in gin rummy on a daily.
Oh, you guys play daily?
Wow.
No.
we don't.
Oh, okay.
That's on the phone, right? That was it.
No.
What is that?
We play with real cards.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, she can't buy a win in that game.
I'm like, I just don't think about things. You just go with the
So like, I
flow.
just go
it
with the
takes
flow.
too much.
I'm not
I
good
don't
with the math.
concentrate.
Yeah.
Math?
I'm not good with the math
Oh
personally.
shoot, I can do math. Yeah,
Yeah.
in my head.
Shoot.
I can't spell to save my life.
I can't do
Amen.
that either. See, it's like I got.
What did you say about my
I said
spelling?
amen. Look, I don't. Lisa is so smart. Lisa is so smart and a great business person.
Yeah.
That woman cannot spell worth a.
And you went to Texas, didn't you?
Yeah,
Oh, hook 'em horns, hook 'em horns.
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, so what did you do? What did
She
you
carried
study?
a dictionary
Counting.
around with her.
Counting.
Or something.
Accounting? Oh, see, that's why.
That's smart.
That's why. Money.
Yeah.
Money, numbers, has nothing to do with literature.
No.
It's different
No,
type of
you know,
variables.
in high school,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know you get the grade like content over grammar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God I got A's in content, or I would have never made it out of high school.
I was terrible at math. I was so bad. They had an assessment back in the day. I'm going to reveal this in front of the whole world right now, but it took me 4 tries to pass that stupid assessment or I wouldn't graduate.
I took college algebra for not one but 2 people in college.
Yeah.
Not one but two
Yeah,
people.
you
Oh
could, because it
man.
was a big school, you could do that.
Yeah.
Wait till the papers came in, get in the pile of 150, handing it in, pass the books, and walk
Jeez,
out.
I would have paid you to do my stuff if somebody would have made my life easier. I wish I had that type of
Like,
pocket change.
everyone says, I'm never going to use algebra. Use algebra every day.
Called variables. Man.
Yeah.
Every
Maybe
single
maybe for like house construction,
No.
right?
Ordering a pizza
Mhm.
is algebra.
I didn't know that.
That's what the algebra teacher tries to tell you.
No,
but
no,
the truth
sure.
is,
A pizza is
It's
$9.99.
common sense.
Each topping
Yeah.
is $3. I want a pizza with 3 toppings. How much is it going to be? That's
Okay.
algebra.
I see what you're
3x
saying. All right.
plus y
Yeah.
equals bam.
Yeah,
Done.
man. It's like simple things, like little things like that. Maybe like
Yeah.
there's other types of math that you're just not going to use, which is understandable.
My mom had only a high school education, and she could go through a grocery store,
Yeah.
fill up a cart of food. Within $5, she knew what was in there. Maybe that's necessity. Maybe it was whatever. But it
man, I was like that too, baby. When I didn't have any money, I knew exactly how much I had, and I knew exactly how much I better keep it under.
Yep. I'm still like that to
Oh,
today,
man.
unfortunately.
That's
but
the one thing about not having money. It's like, oh, I've gotten really good about like knowing how much I can spend by just looking at it and being like, that's about $60 of groceries right there. More or
Yeah.
less, like
Yeah.
by $2 or $3, and more than likely, I'm pretty much on. It's just like it's by necessity.
Yeah.
That
not
is
a bad,
true.
Not bad to have though, because
Right.
like it's better than overspending. That's for sure.
Yep.
I don't know why I go through Lowe's, and it's not, I'm not really worried about how much it is. I think it's just something that keeps my mind occupied, but I can usually know what, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably just force of.
ADD tendency.
Yeah, it's probably just force of habit. And like I was thinking, I was probably bad at math. I think I have like the dyslexic version of numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people did.
Yeah, but you know, it just went undiagnosed because it's like I'm pretty intelligent, like I can grasp concepts and stuff. But it's like math. I don't know why it was so difficult. It makes no real sense.
Teachers scare people.
That too. Yeah, because everybody has a different way, and it's like if you just don't click with their way, it's going to be hard to learn.
Yeah, that's true. How about you, Christy? Were you ever a bookworm
Not
or
really.
a mathematician?
Not math, and I did okay until math got to where you can't put your hands on it.
Yeah,
Like
right,
once
right,
I got
right.
out of that, which that's algebra and all that,
It's all over the place.
I just if I can't see it, if I can't touch it, I can't grasp it.
How much did the math play into like both of your respective boxing careers? Because it's just like it's a lot of genius at work, and
You
you
know
really
how much money that goes out. That's what you know. That's how the math goes. That's how the math works in boxing.
Okay,
Yeah.
This is how much it's gonna cost me. 3% for a cut man. It's gonna cost me this. Somebody's gonna steal $20. 20% from
But I
me.
guess more as like a fighter because it's
Yeah.
just like there's so much happening so quick, and it's like everything is just determined by inches and pure milliseconds, and it's just like how much is that actually processing in your mind or been like thought in your mind, and like I get it, you guys are just naturally gifted, so at some point it's just like it doesn't even register, you just do it. But have you ever thought about like how that plays a factor into your fighting?
Not at all.
No, never.
No.
Okay. No, just curious because I was just like, oh yeah, I was like, oh, I'm sure there's angles and stuff. But it's like, who really breaks it down like that? I never heard of it like that. But it's all happening just so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Uh,
boxing.
Yeah, 'cause-
Counterpunchers might think of that, but I wasn't a counterpuncher. So,
That's true.
So,
yeah.
I think it's more about spatial configuration.
Spatial. There we
Spatial
go.
configuration.
Yeah, because you have to be like right here to do this, and you have to be right here to do this. And after you do it for a while, you know exactly where you need to be for that to work.
Interesting. Yeah. Boxing. When I see boxing, I see boxers like y'all back in the day. Man, y'all didn't care about any of that. Y'all just went after each other. That's wild.
Boxing's different today than it was.
All big time.
I think we came through the last great era of boxing.
Yeah.
I never had a rapper walk me into the ring.
What?
I know. I clearly.
What
missed
rapper walked you to the
No
ring?
rapper walked me to the ring.
I was like,
No, I came out to the Coal Winner's daughter, Loretta Lynn, most of the time.
which is Christy's ring nickname, by the way, if y'all didn't know.
Yes.
I was just talking about we actually had a fighter ask us if on the next fight a rapper could walk him out. It's like,
Those are the worst sometimes. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. Yeah, it's like, who was it? One of my favorite ones was when 50 Cent came out, but he
Corey
came.
Spinks.
Yes.
And then he got knocked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zab Judah knocked him out.
Yeah.
That was to me. That's like the big, and that's not only the only time that's happened where somebody puts on this great.
It's a big
entrance
show.
and then in their home venue, and then they get knocked out. I think that's the greatest lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, why these other fighters can't see that? No. You need to go into that ring focused, not thinking about somebody rapping you out and this and that. No, go in there and do your job.
Yeah.
but if you've always done, I mean, fighters are so superstitious. That's the part that gets me is, we have a way that we put on our socks and our shoes at every single fight. We have this thing that's just, it's ritualistic and it's bred into our superstition. We have this belief, hey, by this time out, I need to be this many pounds away. We're so structured and so sort of athletes in general, but fighters too are superstitious. Why do you break that pattern?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, the whole thing about if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right.
But inevitably, you'll get someone who goes, "I'm going to do this," and you go, "Why? You've never done that before."
Mm-hmm.
And so far, you're, aces.
Yeah.
So you're going to do this?
I guess it's kind of like going to Vegas, and it's just all like, hey, keep on putting in the money. I might have won once, but it's like, we just know that the machine's not going to reward me if I keep on hitting the same thing, so I got to change it up, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily, result into positives, obviously, but I guess it's just human nature.
I've ever heard a fighter say something like that. They go, I do this and I do that, right? I mean, fighters are very ritualistic. Very
Most
superstitious.
fighters I've met have been very simplistic, and it's like either there's one or two types. Either they're like the silent monk that just goes and trains, or they're like the most chaotic person that you've ever met that has like 3 baby mamas and likes to party all the time, and then shows up and
That
just
is
like
so true.
yeah, it's like there's no in between. You know, just all like those because I'm used to interviewing them, and it's
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, I had trouble making weight, but it's just because I had a lot of drama going on. But I feel good coming into this week. I'm just like, oh okay, that's good to know.
I love that.
Good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so true.
because you guys were talking about what was happening behind the scenes and things like that, and it's all like, oh, you're talking about the rapper, and I'm just like, well, I don't have any problem with anybody trying to put on a show, but the one thing that people don't know that never been behind the scenes at a boxing event, like at any level, and it's just like something I didn't really take into account until I was actually working for one, was just like, oh yeah, those people have crews. And then those people want access for their crew to come in. And it's just like you can only have so many people back there because there's only so
Yep.
much room.
The
And then-
entourage.
yeah, and then the fighter didn't want to perform because he couldn't get his crew in. I was just like, you're supposed to be a professional. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
This card's it was built around that guy. And I was just like, whoa. Why are you come on, just make it easy on everybody here. Don't, like, you're already getting paid. Like, why make it more difficult?
Yeah.
But now we have 4-round fighters that have this huge entourage.
Yeah, 4
Oh,
rounds.
Pro
Yeah.
debut guys that have, that 20 people with them. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And so many fighters, and especially a lot of fighters that their dads are in their corners.
Mm.
They're bringing them up and they're giving them. They want them to have what a champion has.
Yeah.
No, don't do that to
Yeah.
your son. Don't do that to your daughter, because let them earn it as
That's
you
right.
go step up. I mean, you get more as you add a title belt. Then your team gets nice warm up suits. As you grow as a fighter, then you start to get more things. But maybe I'm saying that because I really wanted my team to always have these really cool warm up suits, and I don't know what I should refer to him as, wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my team didn't get warm up suits until after he was in jail. And
Yeah.
then I actually got warm up suits for my team. That's kind of
No, but
messed up. isn't it?
I didn't realize like how much that meant to you. It's just like you want everybody to look good because it
Right.
makes
I
you
want
feel
everybody
good.
to
Yeah.
look the same, and like
Yeah.
when we walked in, that everybody knew that, hey, that's Christy's team.
Yeah, that's your
But-
team. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't work that way.
That legendary color pink.
Well, actually, the warm up suits are white.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that's
kinda
your
cool.
trademark
I have one.
now, right? What's
Yeah,
that?
I have one, but yes, pink was
Yeah.
trademark back then too.
Yeah, used to
It
when I
still
would
is.
go after a fight, if I didn't have on pink, people would be like, "Oh no, I want your picture in pink." Like I was gonna go back and
What?
change.
You'd like,
so
okay,
I
you
could
can
come
change,
out and
please?
take-
Oh,
Yeah.
is that true?
Honest to God, it's true.
I don't
came out
doubt
in
it.
an orange warm-up suit
Man,
after
people are
a fight,
crazy.
and people were and yeah.
That's
They were
hilarious.
like, but you don't have on pink. I'm like, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's gotta be like the one caveat about like tying your career to like a specific color. It's like everybody knows you by that brand, so
Yeah.
therefore you have to have something in that color palette on you at all times, right?
Seems
Yeah.
that way.
You ever thought about getting the pink card? Did you ever have a pink card and I just didn't know this?
We kind of talked about painting the little BMW, which is I still have, that Don King, Mike Tyson,
Oh,
myself,
no
we
way.
all got for me in 1996.
What?
We
Oh,
talked
that's
about
cool,
painting
cool.
it pink.
Here in
But
this very house.
It is, yeah.
That is
Wow.
incredible.
Yeah. It's it'll be almost 30 years old,
96.
and it has 60,000 miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
30 years. That's
Oh
pretty
wow! And with
we,
that,
had, we had to put a new battery in it the other day.
good. Yeah,
Got to
'cause
put a new heart.
We
What
don't
was it?
drive. We don't drive it very much.
I know,
Neuro
but with
system.
that, oh geez,
Yeah.
with that story, somebody's gonna be listening to this and they're gonna try calling you to buy that car from you now.
don't know how many people have offered.
I can only imagine.
Two of the guys that work for me kept. I'm like, it's never gonna happen. We're gonna die. And still have it.
Oh my God.
That's
Finally,
awesome.
it was just like I was so tired of hearing about it. Tell me that. I'm like, first of all, it's not mine. But secondly, no, we're gonna die with that car.
Oh my God. I can imagine getting phone calls and folks sending you emails for the car.
Yeah.
That's got to be tiring.
I had some people ask for it. Yeah.
No
cool
price
stuff.
value on it. It's priceless.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
It's got
That's
plates
like
that
the-
say WBC champ on it.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Dude,
And it-
that's so
It's kinda
cool. That's really cool.
Your what does Don King mean to you?
Wow. Don King, I think he's the greatest boxing promoter of all times. I think, obviously, no question about it. Without Don King, it would be Christy Martin. He gave me an opportunity that no other female fighter really has ever had, and I was fortunate. I was ready. I was ready to take advantage of that kick-ass opportunity that he gave me.
Right.
Fighting under Mike Tyson, fighting on Showtime with Chavez, Trinidad, all those guys. I got that fight on a card with Tommy Hearns.
That's insane.
Roberto Duran. Are you kidding me? I fought on shows with those guys.
Yeah.
I still talk to him about once every 2 weeks. I commentated on his show, 2 shows he had last year. And we have a champion with him, actually.
By the way, and you were the ring announcer.
I think I was. Yeah, definitely was.
Yeah, the one in Miami.
It was a clone.
Miami, say it right.
Miami.
Miami.
Yeah.
Miami.
That depends on what part of the coast it's from. You're from the bottom part of Miami.
Miami.
You say that, and I'm from there's a whole bunch of East Coasters in Miami.
They say.
Oh, that's true.
Miami.
Miami.
Oh my God. Yeah, but Don King's. That guy is, man. He's a legend.
Absolutely.
His story is just like mind blowing. You know what I mean? And he built your story too within boxing. How did you guys meet?
Every fighter that was a fighter was a champion in the 80s and 90s. They wanted to be promoted by Don King.
Yeah,
I feel like I met Don King through Jesse Robinson. Jesse was training heavyweights for DK, and Jesse happened to be in a gym that I was in Daytona Beach. I was sparring with Jimmy Maloney, who I sparred with basically my entire career, and Jesse said, "Who's that guy up there?" And the other people in the gym started laughing. They said, "That's not a guy. That's Christy." I had long hair, but I had it all tucked up under my headgear.
Yeah.
And he said, "What?" So then time went on. I kept talking with Jesse, and he would hang around and would show me some things. And he said, "I'm going to take you to Don King." Again, I'm from southern West Virginia, town of 500 people. Of course, you're going to take me to Don King.
Yeah.
And then, I get the call. It was a while later. DK wants to see you.
She took her DVR cassette over there to show him.
I took a VHS tape to
VHS.
show DK, but it was back, back when VHS tapes what we watched. But he had just moved his office, and they didn't have everything set up.
Yeah.
So I actually got up and shadow boxed for him.
You just showed it firsthand. Okay.
He did that famous Don King laugh.
I love his laugh.
Sign her up. So Chavez was in the building.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, bam, left hook. And yeah, it was pretty exciting.
That's incredible.
I mean, talk about being way over your head. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I'm still faking it.
Oh, man.
I'm still faking it.
Hey, I think we've all been in that position. It's similar to how I started announcing. I wanted these opportunities, and it's like, I know I talk like this, but if I talk like this, you might want to hire me. And that guy was like, "What in the hell?" It's like, "You're hired." I was like, "All right." I just promoted myself.
Right.
Or I would, there was this, he's still there, PA announcer for the Houston Astros, Bob Ford. And I recorded myself, not emulating him, but using my own voice to sound like the PA announcer, for Astros games. And I went over there and I gave him a cassette tape. This was like in 1999.
I was going to say 1990 something.
I had a cassette tape. I gave it to him.
Not even a burned DVD or burned CD, but a cassette tape.
And that's the funny part. He goes, "Well, I don't have cassette tape." I was like, "Damn." I was like, I felt a little embarrassed, but I
sentiment counts. So.
Yeah. But I get you. When you got to go out there and promote yourself, you do it any way you can.
And I'm so shy, but it was that moment in your life where you're like, you had to suck it up and do it. And but Don King was a perfect fit for me. I was a perfect fit for him. He loves it when fighters talk shit. He encouraged me to do that.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I mean, I got really comfortable because at his press conferences he was always encouraged. He was acting it on. And so we had fun. If I had been with Aram at that level and they were the rival two guys at that time, it would have never been the same.
Right.
Aaron would have promoted me like a sideshow,
St. John.
and Don King promoted me like a fighter.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you out there, sink or swim. I don't feel like I was given any preferential treatment or anything made easier for me. He just, if you do it, go out there and do it.
He
Yeah,
promoted
here's
you
your
like a
opportunity.
real fighter.
He treated me like a real fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, even on there was a couple of fights right before I got the pay-per-view show, and it was the first time he really came to ringside, and he was really getting into the fight. He saw how the crowd was reacting to the fight, so he just treated me like his fighter.
That's
beautiful.
so cool.
I know. I'm like, I'm just listening. I'm just like, I'm getting the scoop. I'm getting the story. It's just you don't hear it often. Sometimes on podcasts and stuff. And now hearing it now from you, this is great.
Well, and at the press conference that you were emceeing,
Yeah.
he was like, talking good stuff about me and giving me credit and just acknowledging that I was there.
Right.
And that made me feel really good.
Hey, did you read Christy's book or listen to it on the podcast?
No.
I'll send it to you. 'Cause
Okay.
You can share it.
Sure.
He wrote and spoke the what's it called?
The forward?
Prologue?
Forward.
Yeah. The beginning, like before you get into the book, basically to set the tone. That's
Yeah.
awesome, though.
Yeah.
So he was the narrator.
He wrote
Oh,
it.
he wrote it.
Somebody else actually read it, but
Right.
Oh, he
Because
wrote the
it's-
forward,
because
though.
it's-
Wow.
yeah.
Because it's a audiobook.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wrote the forward, man. Those are like words from him, straight
Yeah.
up.
Straight from.
Oh, it
him.
was
Yeah.
awesome. It was
It's
awesome.
really beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Let's take it back and talk about. We were just talking about the book in relation to that dark side of your life. Not a lot of people know that. You're a survivor of domestic violence. When you think about it and you use it, what does it make you feel being in front of other survivors like yourself?
Well, as I was telling you, Wednesday I was at the shelter in Nashville, and they give me strength, and I hope I give them strength. And by talking to them about my story and some of the crazy stuff that happened to me, and they share their story with me, and we feel like, some of the similar things happen. So you don't feel like how did I let this happen to me? Well, somebody else let it happen to them too, and we all got, we were getting by it together. Like, you're not alone.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what's important for me, to keep talking to people and share my story, so somebody hears one word, one sentence, one something that they can carry on. May not work today or tomorrow, but maybe it's next year. Something will happen in their life, and they'll think, oh yeah, I remember that crazy lady, talked about this, and I don't want to let this happen to me.
Yeah.
My thing is, I got so far down that rabbit hole, I didn't realize I was going down the rabbit hole until it was too late. And I just want people to be more aware of what's happening to them in personal relationships, and then not just them, but like to their family, their friends. Sometimes you just don't see it. You just, if you're the person it's happening to, it's kind of like boxers. The worst seat in the house is the fighter's seat.
Yeah.
So sometimes the worst seat in the house is when you're the one in that relationship. You just don't really understand that it's happening till it's too late, and that's 100%. I was no longer the person that got into the relationship. I had been beaten down, and it's a hard fight.
Mentally.
Yeah.
It's a hard fight. It's a hard fight to come back from, but I still struggle. But I'm getting stronger every day.
Yeah, and I was going to go into that as well. Is that something you struggle with, or you have come to peace with? But you said it. It's still a struggle.
Absolutely. And most days are better days now. But there's still crazy little things will happen now. Like, you're right back to hearing
trigger.
Jim Martin's voice telling me that I'm not good enough, that this person is using me, or that person, you're not good enough. But basically, you're not good enough. That's what it was over and over and over instilled in me. No matter what happened that was positive, he always was able to shoot it down. And that's why I'm afraid. Like, if the movie script is written, and I'm scared to be happy about it, because
Oh, you have a movie coming out?
that's
Major
what they
motion
tell me.
picture.
But Yeah,
Wow.
we'll talk about that next time.
That's
Yeah.
When
might be an
I can
exclusive.
when I can talk more about it.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's gonna be an exclusive between y'all.
Yeah.
So
beautiful.
I tell Christy a lot of times that's old tapes you're listening to in your head,
Yeah.
and that's the only way I know how to be nice without going, oh my God, babe, you know. It's like you really have to, for someone who's never been through what she's been through on really any level, you have to, my mom used to say, walk a mile in their shoes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so easy to go, oh my God, that's been, 12 years ago. Why aren't you over? How do you get over something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, and how do you get over the years that it took to get there? And so you really have to. I like what she's doing because you tell people around them, your best friend is the one that's going to know things, and how do you get your mom to see things and stuff like that they don't, that aren't going to see, but then also how do you give people the peace
Yeah.
when they've been through that and
Yeah.
they feel this way and they also beat themselves up for feeling that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to just say, hey, it's just all tapes you're
Yep.
listening to in your head.
I mean, it's one thing to think about, oh, wow, I should have slipped that punch.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing when you're laying on the floor and you can see somebody shooting you
Oh.
with their, with your own pink 9mm.
Yeah.
And you see it, and you see it, and you hear it, and you feel it.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing. And, we never know how strong we are until you're laying on the floor, hearing your lung gurgle, knowing you're dying, bleeding out. Then you know how strong you are. Then you know how strong you are.
Wow.
Because I could have died,
Yeah.
but I chose not to. God decided he needed me.
Yeah.
And so here I am.
Survival.
Amen.
That's an
all I know.
understatement.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
all I know.
grateful. The Silence of the Lambs line. The world's a better place with you in it.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you. I hope
But
so.
but I guess it's also a good reminder just in general where it's like, yeah, like, you guys are awfully like strong fighters. Like, that's not just a persona, that's who you all are. But at the same token, it's like you never really know what somebody may be going through like inside their head and what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
No matter how strong they are on the outside, like, it doesn't just evaporate over time, no matter how bad you want it to. It's just something that, we're all just kind of working with, a little bit each day.
That strong woman we saw, knocking people out and looking like she had the idyllic life on TV was in the relationship that you were in with Jim for all those years. And that's so hard, when you put those two things together in your head. It's so hard to go, what the, what type of world do I live in?
Yeah.
People are talking about not being able to believe anything now in AI. We haven't been able to believe things for a long time anyway, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't know. You don't know what somebody's going through in their life.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Your story is just, but it's helping people too. You got a book out. You got a charity as well, right?
Doing a lot of things. We're doing as much as we can with Christy's Champs.
Mhm.
One of the major things that we try to do is put computers in local boxing gyms.
Oh, beautiful.
And we actually are working with the Hope House in Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
doing an amateur event
Nice.
coming up, actually, the 4th
Mhm.
of March. First conversation I had with them about boxing and domestic violence coming together, they're like, Christy, are you crazy? I'm like, no, so let me break it down to you. And I broke it down to them. Like, these kids that are in a boxing gym are the kids that are from the home that everything's not perfect or they wouldn't be in a boxing gym.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so they started to listen to me. And then we did the boxing event last year for the first time. It wasn't even over, and they were already coming to me, are we going to do it? Are we going to do it next year? Let's do
Oh.
it next year.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they get it. And they said, you know what, this is like, we're the perfect hookup.
Yep.
Yeah.
We need each other.
Yeah.
We can help them. They can help us. It's a great marriage. And I think that is everywhere. And so I try to sell everywhere we have fights. We try to connect with the local domestic violence shelter and make a small donation or whatever donation we can make back.
Yeah, but that's so cool.
But it does go together.
Yeah.
And especially for amateur boxing and the young people. But one thing I do talk about is I don't like when people ask me to use boxing for women as self-defense. It's not physical self-defense.
Yeah.
Emotional and mental self-defense, absolutely. Go in there, go train.
On the nail.
Go train, go feel better about yourself.
Right.
That's the best way to have, like physical presence is being in better condition. Because when you're physically feeling better, you're mentally feeling better.
Yeah.
So, you walk with your head up, your shoulders back a little bit.
I need to do more of that. Jesus.
Yeah. People are
I'm like,
less likely to try to mess with you.
Yeah.
If you're walking around like you're beat down already, you're easy target.
Yeah.
Well, being a novice in this until I was involved with Christy in it, I am firmly convinced, because it's so evident when you're inside it, that breaking the cycle of domestic violence starts with the children.
Yeah.
Of the domestic violence, because you can see the little boys, the boys, whether they're little or not, they have this frustration, this, just anger.
Oh yeah.
And it has to be the whole thing about they see, and then they can't do anything about it, and the girls are.
They just think that's the way they're supposed to be treated.
Yeah, just the opposite. And when we had the gym and we were working with them, their whole demeanor changes when they're in there boxing. The guys, when they're leaving, they're smiling, they're laughing, they're, all the things. The little girls don't seem to be wanting as much attention from the boys, and they were coming in. There was a lot of just all over inappropriateness, and it has to come from their home life being chaotic. Their what they've seen. The little boys, I really feel like the rage inside them is what is the next generation of domestic violence, because if you don't learn how to control that, it comes out in all different ways. And we see it even with people that we don't know if they have been in that situation. But sports in general has always been the way to learn how to keep your emotions in check.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I unfortunately, growing up kid, I got to see that domestic violence, on my mom, and growing up as an older adult, I'm so protective of my sisters, of any young ladies that are in my family or people that I know, because I don't want that to happen. I don't ever want to find out they went through that, because I had to see that. And you're right. I was one of those kids that I wish I could do something while it was happening, but I couldn't.
Right.
It
has to be a whole different kind of rage and frustration that these young men are walking around with. And then we're surprised when it explodes. Well, it did, because we didn't do anything about it.
And right. The fact that that's what they see. So you mimic what you see. That's the way my dad treated my mom, so that's the way I'm supposed to treat you.
Yeah.
Or it's okay if I treat you that way.
Ooh, man. Yeah, that's it's like, I had to take a breath with that. Just some of those images kind of come back at you. We're just talking about that, and it's like, it's the past. You know what I mean? It's the past.
But it still feels there, real.
Yeah. It's like it kind of replays over and over and over, and it happens sometimes at the most random times.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Oh my God.
While it's the past, it doesn't. I don't want to say cheapen, but it doesn't take away the fact that it happened.
Right.
Yeah, like it's still a memory.
Yeah.
And it's hard to remove those core ones, because it's just like I mean, when you have something that traumatic happen, like, it's hard to forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. But I'm glad you're doing all that work, both of y'all. You know, y'all a great team. Like I said, I consider you.
Her sidekick.
What?
We know that.
Her sidekick.
No, but you guys
she actually does all the work. Really, I mean, I do my own work, and then I'm her help, her support, her all on.
Yeah.
But she's the one that's put in the groundwork the whole week for us to do whatever we do in the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys make a good team.
We do.
Yeah, you know, you guys, I think you need both each other to function to make sure that it actually gets seen through, because you each bring something to the table that the other one probably doesn't. And I think you guys meld really well together.
Yeah.
And you know what I really like watching, like, I like hearing you guys talk about boxing in general, just because I see the smiles it brings to your faces when you talk about the sport, and like how it makes a difference for everybody else, and how you're shaping lives through boxing as well.
But very differently. Because one time, I remember, it was true. We're different in our style of boxing and everything. Because I said to Christy one time, you know, after a handful of fights, you know, most fighters hit their knees right before they go to the ring. And they say, you know, not only God take care of me, but take care of all the other fighters tonight, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know about you, but whenever I knock somebody down, I wanted them to pop up on the count of 10 and make a lap around the ring. Chrissy's like, well, what if the ref counts slow? I'm like, 12?
12?
And she says, I can go with 15.
Oh.
And I was just like, there you go. There it is.
Love it.
And people think that's brutal, right? No. Think about this. I just want to knock you out with one punch, go home, get my chick, you know, go have a drink, whatever.
Yeah.
Lisa wants to beat you up for 10 rounds. Now, which is worse?
I'd rather just take the quick KO
There
and
you
go
go.
home. But yeah, you want to just
See, so really, I'm the nicer one. I just want to get you out of the misery, put you out.
He's
Let's
so full of shit, isn't he?
whoa, champ! I 100% believe that I'm right.
We need more of y'all, more couples like y'all in this world, because, oh Lord, everybody's just divorcing left and right.
Yeah.
You know, with the way things are going. But
well, not me, because I mean, I don't date really all that often.
you need to get you a woman.
Because well, I mean, not that I don't have women, I just don't date. There's a difference.
How old are
He's
you?
a hoochie. That's what he's saying.
You're a hoochie.
I don't think I've ever hidden that fact.
That you're a hoochie?
He's a hoochie.
No, he's not a
Good
hoochie.
player.
He's a gentleman, right?
Oh yeah, you know, one of the girls that sang this was like, "Oh yeah, you're a player." I'm not a player. I just don't like. I just don't settle.
There you go.
No.
I mean, you live my lifestyle. You want to be out late at night, and you know how it is when they're asking like, "Hey, when you coming home for dinner?" It's like, well, there's 2 games tonight, so maybe like at 12, you know,
Yeah.
when we're done with the post game interviews and
See,
everything.
This is a thing. When you're in a relationship, you got to think ahead of time and make dinner ahead of time, like I did. So when my lady gets home, there's dinner already sitting there ready for her.
Well, see, I don't have an issue with that, my man, because I know she's going to go back and watch this, so I have no
Probably.
issues with that at all. But the thing is that I would prefer a lady that will be willing to be like, oh, and I know not everybody can do this, even if they have a non-9-to-5 job. You know, I just understand we get older and stuff. It's like, well, if that was the case, like, why don't we go out and get something to eat now that I finally got off of work super late, and let's
At
just
midnight?
let's
What
go.
if she works at 7 in the morning?
That's understandable. Don't be upset, and we'll make up for the lost time at some other point. That's
Yeah.
all I'm asking. Because I mean, I've dated women that you know had like the real serious career, and I get it. Everything was going to be on their time schedule. It's just that my time schedule is just very
Yours,
different
yeah.
because it's just like that's
know.
the type of work that I chose, and I really love what I do. So it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
separate the two.
The two can come together. I mean, I've never Christy wakes up with me at 4:35 in the morning, makes me coffee, and I've never had anyone wake up with me in my
What?
life.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I love that.
Yeah, like, see, I'm sure
That
that
melts my heart.
I love
Sweet.
I haven't been to Starbucks since we got as long as we were home. We've been to Starbucks since we got together.
Look at that.
We actually bought a little barista machine and She makes better than
I was
Starbucks.
gonna say
Yeah.
you
I get
started
almond
like,
milk. I get everything.
The whole nine.
I didn't realize you had so many different skills.
Yeah, that's about where they end.
Oh my.
About where they end.
Well, you know what? We're gonna wrap this thing up. Man, I think we touched on every subject we can think of.
Well, let's talk about the fight one last time.
yeah.
One last promotion, so everybody knows where to find it, where to get
Myrtle
the tickets
Beach.
in Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach Mayhem 8, trillertv.com.
Pay for the
or
pay-per-view.
fighttv.com. It'll be pay-per-view $14.99. Or of course, if you're in the Myrtle Beach area, please come out. It's gonna be a great night of fights. We'll have probably 12 bouts, 10 for sure. We're trying to match a couple more this week, and it's gonna be a great night.
Awesome.
A lot of fun.
It's
And
be
then
a
we're gonna
good
head to
time.
the dollhouse afterwards for the after fight party.
Oh man!
I can't. I can't.
You're like looking at the guy. I was like, baby, I can't. I'm
can't.
sorry. I already know I can't.
I've never been
I
there in my
promise
life.
I've never been
Ever.
there. I'll never will.
Ever.
No.
Champ
Wink,
has
nudge,
never
nudge.
been
So,
either.
but
See,
we have
this
some-
is
we have-
why.
And
Yeah,
Champ
right.
didn't go with you
We have
last
great,
time.
Oh,
great
no.
sponsors there in Myrtle Beach. Fiesta Mexicana, Brundage, United Rentals, Citadel, Beast Boxing, Jay Peters.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Jay Peters really helps us out.
Yeah.
So hopefully I didn't forget
And
anybody.
they're super fun to drink with.
See now I want to
all
go
of
to Myrtle.
all of those sponsors are
Exactly.
awesome to drink with.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
What day?
Friday, February 16th.
February 16th.
Just right after
So
Valentine's
do your
Day.
Valentine's
Right.
Day
Yeah.
at the fights.
I'm
Exactly.
going.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to Myrtle Beach on Valentine's Day, so I don't miss
Aw.
spending Valentine's
You better
Day.
come.
She's not coming to see me on Valentine's Day. She's coming
Yeah.
because Vic's coming on Valentine's Day.
That's all kinds of wrong.
The jalapeno.
The
Jalapeno.
jalapeno's coming on Wednesday, Valentine's Day,
Yes,
and
but-
so she's coming because of that.
That is your fighter, though. That's why.
That's her fighter.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Makes sense.
I'm hoping for
sense.
success. Great success.
Thank you. I'm nervously excited. Like I could do this for a while.
Does it take you back to being like a
It
fighter
does.
yourself?
Absolutely does. Absolutely does.
Because
I was at a fight with him where he got super excited and then he was and knocked the guy down a couple times and he was in the corner. I'm like, calm down. My worst fear is he's gonna like wear himself out.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down. And he was like, like okay, that worked well.
Oh man, but when you're
If
feeling
you're
it,
born
feeling
around,
it.
you don't ever die square.
There you go.
Yeah.
Where can you get tickets at?
Eventbrite.com, Beast Boxing if you're in Myrtle Beach, or at the door.
Or at the door. At the John T. Rhodes Sports Center.
Absolutely.
Damn,
Myrtle
I
Beach.
still remember.
There you go.
Bam.
Cool.
Yep. Let's get
Well,
it.
that'll wrap it up. I'm Jeremiah.
Lisa Holewyne.
Oh, I'm Justin.
And I'm Christy. And that's Champ.
It's Champ right here. And our beautiful boxing Hall of Famers. Thank y'all so much.
Yes, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
again.
We appreciate it. And we'll see y'all at Myrtle Beach. Or, again, tune in on Triller TV, right?
And Fight TV.
And Fight TV. So, all right, y'all. God bless. See you later. Take care.